everyone. Oh my goodness, it is week 6 and I'm so glad that you have found your way here. For many of us, if you're practicing in real time, you know, it might be for you that the holiday season is in full swing, and this can be a beautiful time of year, but it can also be overwhelming. It can be triggering even, and for a lot of us, it can be, you know, a stressful time of year as well. And so I think it's so important to stay true to your you know, self-care and mental health practices, and yoga is a beautiful tool just for maintaining your sanity and your sense of peace during stressful times. So I'm so grateful that you are here, and just thank you for joining us. Okay, so when you're ready, find a comfortable seat, and just like always, we'll warm up and settle in together. So whatever your seat looks like today, cross-legged, on a couch, on a pillow, any of that is fine. And when you're ready, you can, you know, sit up nice and tall. You might even close your eyes right away if you'd like. We're going to try something a little different today. I invite you to bring your palms together and start to create some friction, almost like we're just warming ourselves up over a fire. Creating some heat between the palms of the hands. It's not really a right or a wrong way to do this. Take some deep breaths here. Good. And when you feel ready, go ahead and release the palms face up to your knees. Close your eyes now if you haven't already and if you feel comfortable. And notice, just bring your awareness to your palms and notice any tingling or aliveness you feel there. And see if you can get in touch with that feeling throughout your whole body, that feeling of tingling, aliveness, energy. And as we move through our practice today, make it your intention to stay in touch with that feeling of energy and aliveness throughout your body. It's a good way to practice being present. It gives you something to focus on and stay in touch with. And then go ahead and open your eyes. Okay. We'll start with a little warm up. So go ahead and drop the chin to the chest. Take your time rolling your right ear over to your right shoulder. Gently roll it back through center, chin to chest. And then take your left ear over to your left shoulder. Go ahead and roll back to center, chin to chest one more time. And then look up slowly. Okay. Take a big inhale, bring both arms overhead. Look up. And as you exhale, stretch over to the right, finding a nice side stretch. Inhale back to center. Exhale, stretch to the left. Good. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the right. One more time. Inhale back to center. And exhale over to the left. Awesome. Go ahead and release that. Sit up nice and tall. Take a big inhale here. And as you exhale, twist gently to the right. Sit up nice and tall. Don't force the shape. Gaze over your right shoulder. As you exhale, come back through center and switch sides, twisting over to the left. Okay, beautiful. Release to center. And before we stand, we'll take one more seated stretch. We'll do our seated cat-cow. So hands resting on your knees or depending on your seated position, wherever makes sense for you. And as you inhale, look up, open through the chest. And as you exhale, curve the spine, tuck the chin. Good. Again, with your breath, inhale, look up. Exhale, curve the spine like a C, cat pose. One more time. Inhale to a seated cow. And exhale, cat pose. And then just find your way back to your comfortable seat. Okay. From here, let's come to standing at the top of the mat. Take your time getting there, no rush. Find mountain pose today. Your feet can be about hips width apart. Pressing through all four corners of the feet. Arms resting at your sides. But maybe resting's not the right word, so bring some intention and aliveness to your arms and hands. Take a deep breath here, preparing for some movement. Okay, when you're ready, we're stepping back into Warrior Two to start. So take a big step back with your left leg. Set up your Warrior Two. So bending through the right knee, knee is over ankle. Your back foot is parallel with the back edge of the mat or turned in slightly. Gazing out over your right hand. Our fingers are spread wide and reaching to either side of the room. Take a few breaths here. Beautiful. Transition into extended side angle by bringing your right forearm down to your right thigh, keeping the bend in the knee. The left arm can reach overhead and toward the opposite side of the room. You might look up at your left elbow crease. Hold here. Beautiful. Rise back up into Warrior Two. Keep the arms wide as we switch our feet. So you can straighten the right leg, don't lock it. Go ahead and turn the right toes in and the left toes out. So we're facing the opposite side of the room. Bend through the left knee, finding Warrior Two on the left side. Breathe here. Gazing out over the left hand. Okay, now find extended side angle on the left side by bringing your left forearm to the top of your left thigh, keeping the bend in the left knee. The right arm comes overhead and reaches to the opposite side of the room. Gaze up into your right elbow crease. Hold and breathe here. Beautiful. Go ahead and rise back up into Warrior Two briefly. You can release the arms, turn the left toes in. We're switching back to face the front of the mat again, but bring the feet in closer together. We're setting up for a pyramid pose here. So your feet can be lined up heel to heel or a little wider. I like to take mine a little bit wider. This is a much narrower stance than Warrior Two. My back toes are turned in at about a 45-degree angle so that my hips can face the front of the mat. So play around with that. So hips are squared to the front of the mat. Don't lock either knee in this pose, or ever, really. And so we're going to inhale to prepare. So inhale, grow long through the spine, hands at the hips. And as you exhale, slowly hinge from the hips. Put a micro bend in this front knee. And we'll come to about a flat back or wherever you start to feel a stretch through the back of the leg. Hold here, keep your hands at your hips. Stay long through the spine. Good. On your next inhale, go ahead and rise back up. Exhale, and we'll switch sides. So take your time switching our stance. We'll face the back of our mat now. Again, a much narrower stance, heel to heel or a little wider. Hips facing the back of the mat now. Right foot turned in at about a 45 degree angle. Hands at the hips. Inhale to prepare. And exhale to fold. Gentle micro bend in the left knee. Hinging from the hips, finding a flat back. Finding a gentle stretch through the back of the leg. Hold here. It's more challenging than it looks. Breathe deeply. Okay, rise back up slowly, hinging from the hips again. And release that. And meet me in a standing position, a mountain pose. You can do this at the top of your mat or facing me is fine as well. Okay, we're going to practice some balance in our tree pose. So if you've been practicing with me since the beginning, we haven't practiced tree pose since week 1. So we're coming back to it now. So it doesn't matter which leg you start with. I'm going to use my right leg as my first tree trunk leg. Okay, so I'm balancing on the right leg. And there are a few different options here. So you can simply bring your left foot to your right ankle, and this might be your tree pose today. Or you might bring the left foot up to your calf. Or you might bring it all the way up above your knee to the right inner thigh. Never at your knee, that's not safe, but up above your knee. And if you have it up against your thigh, go ahead and really press the thigh into the foot. Your tree trunk leg should be strong and firm. You can bring the hands to your heart. It helps to find a focal point to gaze at for balance. You might be wobbly, you might fall out of this pose. All of that is fine. Just find your way back. Don't give up. Find your sense of humor. Laugh at yourself. It's all fine. Okay, after you've balanced for a few breaths, go ahead and release the left leg and we'll switch sides. So find your version of tree pose on the other side. Foot to ankle, foot to calf, foot all the way up into the inner thigh if you like. Find your balance. It's okay to smile here and find some joy in our practice together. Okay, again, after you've balanced for a few breaths, you can release your tree pose. You can shake it out a little bit. It's totally fine. And then take it down to a seated position. We'll wind things down with a seated forward fold. We'll try a one leg forward fold today. So bring the sole of your left foot into your right thigh. So like we're doing tree pose on the floor here. Okay. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. We're preparing to fold. And as you exhale, hinge from your hips gently. You might even bend this knee slightly, that's okay. And find a forward fold. You might just rest your hands at the mat. We want to feel a stretch through the back of the right leg. You might rest your hands at your shin. You might take hold of your foot. never force yourself into a forward fold. Just find your stretching point today where, you know, you're feeling a stretch, but you're not forcing anything. You're not feeling any pain. Don't worry about what it should look like. Beautiful. Take your time. You can walk your hands back to sit up tall and then just switch sides. So extend the left leg, bring the right foot into the left thigh. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold. Breathe deeply. Okay, again, walk your hands back to sit up tall. Release the right leg and come all the way down to your back. When you get there, you can bring your knees to the chest. You can rock side to side, giving yourself a lower back massage. You might make circles with your knees. If you are circling, make sure you go back and do the other direction as well. When you're ready, bring the feet to the mat, and we're going to windshield wiper our way to our final resting pose. So all that means is we're dropping the knees from one side to the other. And as we do that, we're slowly sliding the feet out away from the body until our legs are fully extended. Go ahead and relax your legs. Let your feet fall open. Let your arms rest at your sides. Come into our final resting pose. I invite you to close your eyes and check back in with the aliveness we felt at the beginning of our practice. That feeling of tingling and energy throughout the body. Let the body feel heavy and supported by the floor. With every exhale, releasing more tension from the body. You can rest here as long as you'd like. But if you feel ready to close our practice today, you can go ahead and roll to one side. And from there, just press your way back to a seated position. Find a comfortable seat. You can keep the eyes closed. And I like to close our practice by taking 3 deep breaths together. Take a great big inhale. On your exhale, let something go. Again, inhale. Release something on your exhale. One more time, a great big inhale. And let everything go on your exhale. And then go ahead and open your eyes. Awesome job. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.